Say you wanna slide here at the midnight. In the trap, I don't know what the wrist like. You say you wanna come through, cause you shit right. She wanna try, nigga, she don't want a rich guy. He a shooter, he don't even hold a stick right. I wanna know you had to choose, would you switch sides? I get a stick with me, I don't gotta get mine. Then you wanna side in mid.
Lag. Now we're good.
Sometimes on my morning
Yes.
Sometimes on my morning commute to class or work, while I'm just in my car alone, driving to wherever I have to go, I feel such a strong, overwhelming sense of loneliness and a feeling that I am the only one who will ever understand me. And it gets intense to the point that I start sobbing. And this thought, it just occurs very randomly. So, in the middle of my commute, surrounded by cars, I'm just sobbing. And it gets overwhelming to the point where I don't even feel human. And then it goes away. But it just keeps happening. And I'm not quite sure what to make of it.
That's how usually car rides go, you know? When you don't listen to music, or when you do listen to music, that feeling kind of hits you like a truck. Yo, Flub, what?
So I got a secret that I found out about the family. An uncle of mine had disappeared in Afghanistan, and nobody knows why. He had a car, he had a business he was starting. He had so many things going for him, but he up and left. He didn't take his keys, not his clothes, didn't tell his wife, his mom, nothing, just left. Come to start investigating, his brother started telling the family that he got kidnapped by the Taliban, or that he was into something and something happened to him. That was a story that went around to the females in my family. And one of my cousins told me that just had gotten back from Afghanistan. He was out there and he just had gone back. He had told me about what really happened. He told me for whatever reason that the brothers got into an altercation, they got into a fight, and he killed him. He killed him, disappeared him, hid his body from the rest of his family, and acted like nothing happened. To this day, my mom, my grandma, my aunts, they all believe that the Taliban took him and disappeared him, but it's their brother that calls them every day, talks to them, they send money to them, like somebody that's such a part of their lives that took another part of their lives, and they don't know that. So I've always kept that secret from my mom. I think if I told her, that would destroy her, but it's pretty crazy.
You better, I hope his uncle ain't watching or anything, because I hope he's safe.
Years ago, the only reason I continued living was for other people. I still sometimes look and am searching for the reason to keep living for myself.
So my secret is that wearing sunglasses kind of makes me feel more secure or confident in what I'm saying. It is likened to the effect that being on the internet and being able to just type to a screen has. It's weird. I broke up with my girlfriend with my glasses on, and I don't think I could have without them.
Okay, so he needed like a
A lot of my coworkers and friends have this expectation that I'm so sweet and so nice to people, but I don't think I live up to those expectations because I actually really don't like people. I prefer being on my own.
I mean, you could be a good people person, but not like people. That's how it goes.
The only time I've ever been hit on at work is by male customers in at least their 30s who think I'm a lady. I'm a man. I'm 19.
Oh, 19? Nigga, you sound like you're 30.
It's happened twice. It's always the same coworker who is talking to those customers as well. And he comes over and says, "Hey, Kiefer." And I say, "What?" He says, "Those customers, they really like you." And I say, "Yeah." And he says, "Yeah, they think you're a chick." And I look at him, and I'm not happy with him.
I mean, get dreads, you know? Get twists with your hair.
At one of my best friend's graduation parties, I hooked up with his aunt like 15 years ago, and I've never told anybody.
Nigga fuck with this auntie? That's dumb shit.
Sometimes when I'm walking down the street, I pretend like I'm a drag queen performing on stage, a really, really long stage.
Okay, Super Saiyan.
So a long time ago when I was little, my cousin and I were just kind of bored, and we decided to play a little prank on the neighbor. So we wrote this like letter saying that we had like kidnapped her daughter, and that she had to pay like this amount of money, and she had to like drop it off in like a certain place. And we're like so little, like the letter probably didn't even make sense, but they eventually like they found it because we left it like on the door, and they thought it was real, so they called the cops, and like it was a big thing. You know, they came to ask like my aunt and stuff, and we just pretended like we didn't know, but they were like super scared, and they thought something bad had happened, and it was like a big thing, but we never told anybody.
That's stupid ass prank. Nigga, what type of prank is that?
I told everyone that that speaker was broken at work, but it was not. I just wanted it. Everyone gives me trash, so if I say something is trash, then they give it to me. And so that's what happened to the speaker at my job.
Good shit. Good shit. I support it. Good shit. Good shit, man.
Okay, so when I was younger, I used to have a major anger issue. Like I had no control over it whatsoever. So I used to have this boyfriend pillow. It was basically like a pillow with just one arm bent. So it's like, think if you're wrapping your arm around someone's shoulder, that's how the pillow was shaped.
Oh.
And I would take my frustration out on this pillow by grabbing an actual knife and shanking it over and over again. Let's just say that pillow did not last a while.
Okay. All right.
I was once diagnosed with a mental disease that no one thought was curable. I'm perfectly fine today, but I've kept this a secret since there's such a stigma, and I would be treated completely different if I were to ever reveal that publicly.
All right. Stay away from her. That's all I knew.
I don't really love my dad. I kind of just use him for rides and money. And just to clarify, he's a terrible person, but, you know.
I blame myself for my best friend's death. That's it.
My secret is that I am a completely uninteresting person, and I have nothing to share at all. I really wish I did, though.
Damn.
So growing up, I did not have a good relationship with my mother. Always loved her, but growing up, we would often fight. It was a very volatile relationship, a lot of heartache, a lot of anger, I think, going in both directions. And I remember one time, I think maybe I was 12 or 13 years old, we had a very bitter fight. Now, some context before I continue. My mother was with my father just for a few years before she left him. He was a very violent man, very abusive man, alcoholic, drug user, sexist, racist, you know, just all the bad things a person could be or could do. Going back to my story, so I'm 12, 13 years old, had a big bitter fight, and I said something that haunts me to this day that I hate it every time I think about it. I said something along the lines of, you know, now I see why Dad did all those things to you.
Oh,
so I pretty much said, now I see why he beat you, terrorized you. And I apologized, I think, a day or two afterwards, but to this day, decades later, it eats me up inside just thinking that something so vile, so terrible, could escape my lips. especially given that I love my mother. Because as I mentioned, growing up, we fought a lot, but I always loved her. And now our relationship is the best it's ever been. But still, every once in a while, I'll think about that fight, and I just feel terrible. And I just hope that she really knows that I truly am sorry, and that I wish I could take it back.
Yeah, he should be sorry. That's so messed up.